Hello everybody, Didier back in another video. Alright guys, my tennis friends are on the road. It is time to do a prediction video. Maybe I'm a little early here this year. I usually do these kind of videos late in December, early in January. I'm doing this video already in November and I'm thinking myself, I'm free from work today, so why not? Why not deliver a video? Why not do a video? Why not say my thoughts and deliver my thoughts who I believe will win the Grand Slam titles 2026. I actually looked back on my old videos. I remember when I did the video, who will win the Grand Slam title 2024? And I said Alcaraz, Djokovic, and maybe Sinner. So of course I was right about Alcaraz 2024, he won 2. I was not right about Novak. I still believe Novak maybe would have had some 1 or 2 Grand Slam titles still left in him. Who can blame me after the season he did in 2023, where he was outrageous good and won 3 out of 4 Grand Slam titles that year and played all 4 Grand Slam finals. He was very, very close to even win all the 4 majors. We all know that he was very close in winning that Wimbledon final against Carlos Alcaraz. So I was still high on Novak Djokovic after that great 2023 season, which we now know that was his last really good tennis season. It was his last, because in 2024 he only won 1 title. In 2025 he won 2 titles. Both of those 2 titles has been 250 class tournaments. In 2024 he won that Olympic gold medal, which he really wanted, and which he really that was the only big title that was left in his career to win. So after he won the Olympic gold medal in 2024, Novak Djokovic, he basically has won everything that is big to win in tennis. Anyway, in 2024 I believed in Carlos, Novak, and I said maybe Sinner. Sinner needs to play his first ever Grand Slam final first, because he has never played the Grand Slam final coming into that 2024 season, and Sinner proved me right very fast. He played his first ever Grand Slam final in 2024 Australian Open, and the rest is history. In 2025, I said that Alcaraz and Sinner will win the Grand Slam titles. I don't know who will win 3, who will win 2, who will win. Maybe one will win 3 and 1-1, or maybe most likely both will win 2 each. That was an accurate prediction. So now this video is about who will win the Grand Slam title 2026. We know now that the last 8 Grand Slam titles has been won by Alcaraz and Sinner, so they are in an 8 Grand Slam titles winning streak. These 2 new superstars of tennis, those so-called the big new 2. Before we had the big 3, now we don't have the big 3. We have the big 2, which is of course Alcaraz and Sinner. These 2 guys have also dominated this tennis season as well in 2024. In 2025, where Carlos won 8 titles in total. Sinner won 6 titles in total. And of course, they both won all the Grand Slams. Sinner won Australian Open, Carlos Alcaraz won French Open, Sinner won Wimbledon, and then Carlos Alcaraz won the US Open. Will we see a different scenario in 2026? Will we have so-called a third member, so-called the new Joker? Because we all know that when Nadal and Federer from 2005 to 2007 won 11 Grand Slam titles in a row, Novak Djokovic came from nowhere. Not nowhere. It was a wrong word to use. He didn't came like nowhere, because he forgot he was the world number 3 when he won his first ever Grand Slam title back in 2008. Australian Open. Anyway, we didn't expect that. I will say something to you guys, something that I don't think I have ever shared this before. I remember back then, 2007, 2008, those years, Nadal was a big kryptonite for Roger Federer. Not only on clay. On clay, it was never any discussion. He was killing Roger Federer every single time he was facing him at French Open. And that's why all 6 meetings that Federer faced Nadal at French Open, he lost all of those 6 meetings. He never even took one match to a fifth set. But even outside French Open, Nadal was threatening Novak. Federer. So I didn't want to see Nadal face Roger Federer in the later stages of Grand Slams. And of course, it was in the finals, because they were the world number 1 and world number 2. Federer was the world number 1 and Nadal was the world number 2 in 2005, 2006, 2007. And then, of course, after Wimbledon 2008, Nadal became the world number 1 for the first time in his career. Anyway, so I was fearing Nadal to not face Roger Federer, because he was my big... I was cheering on him. I was loving to... I loved to see him play, and I loved to see him win. So when Tsonga completely destroyed Nadal in straight sets in that Australian Open semi-final 2008, I remember that match was played on Thursday. And I was cheering for Tsonga, of course. I didn't want to see Nadal in the final, because I knew what kind of a threat Nadal was to Federer. Just 8 months earlier at Wimbledon 2007, Nadal almost defeated Federer. It was a 5-set epic battle. So I was really, really happy to see Nadal get knocked out from Tsonga. I was super pumped, super thrilled. I thought to myself, all right, another Grand Slam title for Roger Federer in the bag. I truly believed so. I had respect for Novak, because I knew that Novak just a couple of months earlier in US Open, even though he lost 3 sets in that US Open final against Federer, he had set points both in the first set and the second set. All right. So that straight set victory that Federer had against Novak Djokovic at the US Open final 2007, it really was... those numbers doesn't tell the whole story. Some straight sets victories, they seem easy on paper, but for those who have seen the matches, we knew that that match should have never ended in a straight set victory for Federer. Nevertheless, despite all that, I was super confident that Federer will defeat Djokovic in that semi-final, and then, of course, defeat Tsonga in the final. But all of a sudden, Djokovic, he was a walking, running wall in the semifinals 1 day later in Friday against Federer. I thought to myself, all right, Novak won the first set. Federer will probably win the second. Novak won the second. I said, what is happening here? Will Federer lose in straight sets against this 20-year-old guy from Serbia? Yeah, I know. He's a world number 3. He has defeated Federer before. He just did that last year in a big final, in a Masters final in Canada, in Montreal, if I remember correctly. But this is a slam, for God's sakes. He should not defeat Federer, at least not this easy, but at least not in straight set. And nevertheless, he won in straight sets. And then the rest is history. Djokovic defeated then Tsonga in the final in 4 sets. So what is my point with all this, what I'm telling this to you guys, is that I was surprised when Novak broke through. I didn't expect that. I thought that Federer or Nadal will win that Australian Open 2008. When Nadal was knocked out from Tsonga in the semifinals, I thought that Federer is winning this now. Djokovic completely proved me wrong. And do I see another Djokovic now? So-called third player who can break through Alcaraz and Sinner's dominance? No, I really don't see. We have some challengers like Felix Aliassime, like Felix Aliassime, I don't know, Zverev, Ben Shelton, but no, all these players, Diminaur, they are basement players or number one floor players. And you don't know what I mean with that, is that basement players, it is a word I use players that are very, very weak and that are very, very far from Alcaraz and Sinner. Alcaraz and Sinner, they are on the 7th floor. They are in the 7th floor and they are watching everybody down and saying, you guys, you are very, very far away from us. Your level is basement level. So, especially De Minaur, Felix, and Ben Shelton, these kind of players, they are basement players. Zverev, I can put him as on number one floor, and Fritz as well, because they, after all, they have played Grand Slam finals. De Minaur has never been a Grand Slam semifinal. Felix Serasime has been in a couple of semifinals in majors, but he has never been in a Grand Slam final. Felix Serasime. Ben Shelton has never been in a Grand Slam final. So, and De Minaur, Felix Serasime, they have never won Master 1000 titles. So, De Minaur and Felix, they are basement players, really. They are at the basement level. And Ben Shelton as well, even though Ben Shelton has won a Master 1000 title, but he has never been in a Grand Slam final. Fritz and Zverev, I would put them on number one floor. Djokovic, who is 38 years old, 38 and a half years old, I will put him on the 3rd floor. He's over this bunch of players. And then we have, alone on the throne, Sinner and Alcaraz on the 7th floor. So, considering all this, do I see a new Joker breaking through here and winning one Grand Slam title next year, 2026? No. Unfortunately not. We have some youngsters like Joe Fonseca, Jakub Mensik, Lernan Tien, very, very young, talented players. They are not any new Djokovic. They are not. I'm sorry to say it, guys, but they just are not. So, Alcaraz and Sinner, the only way these two doesn't win all the majors is that if both of these two are injured. If one of these two are injured in a specific Grand Slam tournament, then that player that is alone will win that Grand Slam title. For example, say Alcaraz is injured at Australian Open. 99% I'm confident that Sinner will win the Australian Open. Even if Sinner is injured at Australian Open, for example, I'm not 99% about Alcaraz winning Australian Open, because Alcaraz has never been past the quarterfinals in Australian Open. So he can be defeated from other players, and he has been defeated from other players in the past at Australian Open, like Djokovic, Zverev, to mention some. But if Alcaraz is injured, Sinner is 99% the winner at Australian Open. He is the man to beat at Australian Open. He has won the Australian Open 2 consecutive years, 2024 and 2025. So, my point is that for somebody else to win one of these 4 majors next year, 2026, both of these 2 players needs to be injured. The same thing at French Open. If Alcaraz is injured at French Open, because he's the favorite there, he's the man to beat there, he has won the French Open the last 2 years, 2024 and 2025, Sinner is the second favorite, for God's sakes. Sinner is the second favorite. Sinner almost won French Open earlier this year. He was just 1 point away in winning the French Open earlier this year. He had, for God's sakes, 3 championship points. And the same thing at Wimbledon. Alcaraz has won Wimbledon 2 times, 2023 and 2024. Sinner won it earlier this year, 2025. So, for somebody else to win Wimbledon, both of these 2 guys needs to be injured. And the same thing is at the US Open. For somebody else to win US Open, both of these 2 guys, Alcaraz and Sinner, needs to be injured. If only one of them are injured, I am over 90% confident that one of those, that player will win the Grand Slam title. So even if Sinner is injured at Wimbledon, Alcaraz wins the Australian Open. Alcaraz wins the Wimbledon, or vice versa. Same thing at US Open. Even if Alcaraz is injured at US Open, Sinner wins the US Open. So, long story short, no, my tennis friends around the world, I don't see anyone else besides these two, Alcaraz and Sinner, winning the Grand Slam titles 2026. I think that they will win all the 4 Grand Slam titles 2026, exactly like they did 2024, exactly like they did 2025, and I think that they will do the same thing in 2026. Who will win 2? Who will win? Maybe they will win 2 each, like they did 2024 and 2025. Maybe one of them will win 3 and the other one will win 1. But most likely, I believe that they will win 2 Grand Slam titles each, even in 2026. That is my feeling. I truly don't believe that any other player will have any chance to win a Grand Slam title in 2026. These 2 guys, Alcaraz and Sinner, they are just above everybody else. They are in the 7th floor, the others are in the 3rd floor, like Djokovic, in the 1st floor, Fritz and Zverev, and the other players are in the basement. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, peace.